Thank you. So I joined initially in a bank. I was in financial services. From financial services, I met some people who were working for a new company that had launched in the UK called Orange. This must have been in 1995. And I was absolutely besotted by that brand. And I asked for a job and I joined Orange. And I've had various roles in Orange, multiple years of working in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And now I find myself in Pakistan. So I've been in Jazz for probably 6.5 years. I joined towards the end of 2015. I've had a thorough time here. It's been amazing. Initially joining as Vice President of Marketing, and then for the last 6 years, I've been the Chief Commercial Officer for Jazz.
I started my life as a military guy, and I ventured into the glamour of corporate world. So I went to my business school and ended corporate world, started my life as a corporate investment banker. And then these customer insights and the data thing was very intriguing. And I moved into telecoms. And from there on, I've been into analytics, worked both locally, internationally, and now heading marketing.
So Alhamdulillah, we have been leading the market. We had some troubled times in past. What we did was we regrouped and refocused. And that regrouping really asked us to figure out who the customer is. Focus on the customer, focus on their needs. What we've been doing is driving that through the adoption of 4G. Not only 4G, but also the ancillary digital services as well that we provide them through some of the services that we have. Some of the, like a television product that we provide, Tamasha, and some of our financial inclusion. But the core of it actually is we have to go where our customers are. Yes, so the world is changing, and Alhamdulillah, having been in business for 25 years, I think back in 1994 when Jazz first launched, we would never have thought that we would still be here in 25 years' time or have a plan for 25 years. The same question could be asked for me today in 25 years' time. How do we intend to be there? My one simple answer on that is we have to re-innovate everything that we do on a constant basis. In 1994, we provided voice services, then we provided data, now we provide other value-added services. So we're doing multiple things. First of all, we're working with the government as well in a private-public partnership to be able to provide new network rollout. And on that, we contribute over 24 billion rupees. And actually, to date, I think this year alone, we've won more than 20 different projects with them to provide 700 new coverage sites for about another 11 million people who were previously not served. So first thing we're doing is actually broadening the amount of people that we can serve. So actually, digital financial inclusion and bringing everybody into the fold of data is our objective. The first thing that we're doing is actually making the products more affordable. Affordability is a big barrier for most people. So our Digit 4G handset starts at around 4,500 rupees, which allows somebody to actually access the internet and be able to become independent in that way. Also, for many women, allowing them to have a digital financial account, such as our Jazz Cash wallet, is actually very liberating for them. They can do small businesses and they can actually do financial transactions. So this is something that's quite important to us, but not only us. We're actually working with the GSMA, and specifically the GSMA is a body that governs all of the mobile operators in the world on their Connected Women program. And we're already ahead of some of the targets and the benchmarks that we've set and the agreements that we've had with the GSMA. So we're working with the actual female community and actually encouraging. We've got some specific programs that are specifically tailored towards females and female inclusions. And a lot of these services are available directly from our experience centers. And we're encouraging women to come forward and actually have their first mobile phone. So one of the things we've done, and we just won an award for these things, is actually the Digit 4G phone is available at a subsidized rate for some of the females. So first and foremost, actually find a problem that you have identified that's available in society. You must be solving a problem. The second thing you then need to do is actually work on your customer proposition so that the articulation of that is correct, so that the actual customer understands the solution that's being presented to them. And then the final thing that I would say on that is build a great team. Delegate, don't do everything yourself, and actually have diversity in your team, have difference of opinions, and have people from all walks of life supporting you towards this particular objective.
It's actually a fight between heart and a mind. So if I have to think with my heart, I really feel that we brought a campaign for women. I think Asif also talked about something about that. We have won an award for that. We talked about that women are not connected to mobile devices. Rather, it is seen as a taboo. And we were able to generate that conversation in Pakistani society, which was a tough one. That's if you ask from the heart factor. But if you ask from the mind, our corporate reputation, where we want to enable Pakistan with a digital thing, and super nahi to 4G nahi, we won that corporate reputation award. So I think both these awards go side by side. Now it's difficult to differentiate that. Will we go with heart or will we go with mind? So as a digital lifestyle partner, we want to be digital friend forever with our consumers. And today we think little differently. We want to talk about their stories. We want to relate something to them. So this Super Soch is actually connected to that, where we want to tell people that it's about you, what you can do with this digital connectivity. It's not about only digital connectivity, putting sites. It's actually, it brings some lot of good to the society, good to the people.
So actually, the important thing here really is the more digital inclusion that we have in the country, the more people realize that the power of the phone and how it can actually unlock an enormous world. I think that is what will bridge the inequalities that we see in society today, whether it be a gender gap or a rural-urban gap or a pay gap. But actually, the mobile phone is actually allowing people who are in rural areas to become much, much more empowered. That, I think, has to be the digital inclusion and the vision that we have that will drive, I believe, actually GDP growth in the country and actually betterment for every Pakistani.
We want to talk to them. We do not want to talk about our connectivity. We want to talk about how they use our connectivity. And it's basically touching the hearts of consumers. And normally, it's a lot of song and dance, which we have been doing in the past. But this time, if you see, since last 2 years, we have started a little bit differentiating ourselves and moving towards touching the hearts of our consumers. So I think the differentiating factor is that we want to talk about consumers, about them, not about us.
So if I could just add, so the most important part and what drives me every day from a brand perspective is actually humanizing the brand. Consumers don't connect with a mobile operator or a business. They connect with a brand. And the reason they connect with the brand is they find some level of emotional connectivity. And we've been transforming our campaigns in order to connect to consumers at a deeper, more emotional level. So actually the advice I would probably give is the advice that I was given very early on in my career. I'm quite an energetic individual and I held a lot of passion for my work and passion for the brand. The advice that I would give is keep that passion alive, because that passion must then serve a customer need. Because ultimately, it's because we have these customers that actually we're able to serve them. And so passion and customer focus is what I would say.
Know your customer. That's the advice. So once we start, people have a lot of ideas, and I'm not against that creativity or innovation, but it has to start with the customer. And people have to understand that as a marketeer, the only thing which matters is if you know your customer, you can have a right conversation with him or her. And that's important. So we need to devise those things which are connected to those consumers and where we know those insights and we build on those insights.